Captain America Civil War. I think this movie was dang good. It did have a little bit of issues, but first I'm going to talk about the good stuff. Then I'll try to get to the bad stuff. Well, not so much bad stuff, but more nitpicky stuff. So first off, the action in this movie is spectacular. I have to say, out of all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, probably the last two Captain America movies have some of the best fight choreography ever. And I think it's because Captain America doesn't really have powers. I mean, he's a super soldier, technically, but he doesn't have any, like, crazy explosions and pew-pews. But he's just, like, all, you know, hand-to-hand combat. He can do more than the average man. So basically, the best parts of this movie are the fight scenes. I mean, let's be honest. That's what we were all kind of coming in to see. So the best part of the movie for me was the big confrontation between the two sides, both Iron Man's side and Captain America's side. And that's not a spoiler because it is in the trailers. You have Spider-Man, Black Panther, Vision, Natasha Romanoff, so Black Widow, Iron Man, and War Machine. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody. And they're fighting against Captain America, Clint Barton, who's Hawkeye, Sam Wilson, the Falcon, Bucky Barnes, and Ant-Man. Oh, and Wanda, the Scarlet Witch. That's definitely the best scene in the entire movie. For me, at least, personally. Captain America himself, he's not exactly the most interesting character. He's kind of a Boy Scout, let's put it that way. I never give up. I fight for the American way, which, I mean, back when he was created was probably, you know, that was the thing to do, was to create a character that was that patriotic, that, like, I fight for the American way, and this is the way it has to be done, and blah, blah, blah. But now he's kind of just like a knob, so, I don't know. But that being said, this movie and Winter Soldier are probably two of my favorite Marvel cinematic movies. I've already seen Civil War twice, so that goes to show how good it is, and I'm planning on seeing it a third time. Robert Downey Jr. is also very, very excellent on this movie. I forgot how good he is as Iron Man, because in the last two Avengers movies, he was kind of put on the side a little bit because there were so many characters. But in this movie, he really shines, I think. He's guilt-stricken. And I think he plays that very well, where he doesn't know what to do, and it seems like it's really getting to him, some of the problems that people are having. He's trying to do the right thing, but by doing the right thing, he's starting to tear the group apart. And it looks like it's actually really starting to affect him, like, a lot. So I think that was very well done by Robert Downey Jr. And of course, I have to mention Mother Humpin' Spider-Man. Holy jeez, nacho cheese. This guy hit it out of the park. I personally think this is my favorite Spider-Man, and he was only in the movie for about 15 minutes. But I think he really nailed, like, the geeky but still kind of a smartass aspect of the character, because, like, you got Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire is the perfect geek, and Andrew Garfield was the perfect smartass. But this guy, it meshes it both together perfectly, and I think the fact that he's so young looking actually really adds to his character. And some of the one-liners that he came up with, definitely some of the funniest parts of the whole movie. I had my ups and downs with the villain of the movie. He was probably one of my biggest complaints, because it was kind of, his character had good motivation, but at the same time, I didn't feel like it was enough. And one of the biggest gripes I had was, at the end, I didn't really notice it till the second time, but at the end of the movie, there's so many things that have to happen perfectly for his plan to work. And if just one thing doesn't happen perfectly, he has to know what this person's going to do, he has to know what this person's going to do, and if they don't do those things 100% perfectly as they actually do in the movie, his plan's going to go to crap. I don't know who would have been the villain otherwise, but I don't know, I just felt he was kind of the weakest part of the movie. It's too bad because I really liked this actor in Inglourious Basterds. I thought he played that guy really well. But in this movie, he's just kind of he's kind of come see come saw. He's good, but could have been a little bit better. And that's just kind of a minor gripe for me. It didn't ruin the movie, but the second time I watched it, I picked up on stuff where I was like, that's a pretty good coincidence, or that's pretty damn lucky that happened, because if it didn't, it might not have worked. So, with all of that said, I would absolutely recommend seeing Captain America Civil War. Hell, bring all of your friends, because you'll have a great time watching the movie. And it's really cool to see other people's reactions to the movies. Like all the kicks and punches and all the jokes. There's actually a lot of humor in this movie. Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson, the Falcon, have great comedic timing. Just some of the lines that they say, some of the things that they do in this movie, hilarious. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. And if you like this video, you can share it with your friends. You can click the like button. And you can comment on what was your favorite part. And until next time, I'm Ryan Graham, and you're not.